podcasts.
You're listening to the Victory Station, AM 1360. We're glad you chose us. Thank you.
It's Impact with the Florida Star, the largest, oldest, and most read African-American newspaper in Northeast Florida and South Georgia. And now, here's the host, the publisher of the award-winning Florida Star, Clara McLaughlin.
Well, hello, this is Opio. You are tuned into Impact, the show that gives you all that you need in order to get out there and be able to intelligently talk about the issues. Make sure you pick up a copy of the Florida Star newspaper. It's been around since 1951. Black owned and operated. I got my sidekick. I might be his sidekick. This guy is an incredible talent and just an awesome brother all the way around. Brother Roy Akachi, how you doing, Prince Akachi?
Oh, fantastic, brother. How's your week been, man?
Oh, man, it's just been busy all over the place. Well, we got a good show lined up for today. We got Dallo coming on. We're going to talk about, what we talking about with Dallo?
Brother Dallo, comedic empire.
That got kicked out
of the Trump rally.
Right, got kicked out of the Trump rally. We're going to talk about that. That's going to be good. We got a brother by the name of Carlos Muhammad. He has a book that's called Your Daddy Ain't and you ain't going to be in either, dealing with the psychological effects of curse words on children.
Yes.
Well, you know we need to talk about that one.
Yes.
And then we have brother Malik Ismail. He's a second generation. Parents were Panthers. He has a book out, so we're going to be getting into all of that. Just going to be just a great show lined up for you today. Also, this Saturday, you have the Throwback Fest. This Saturday, the Throwback Fest, so you will not want to miss that.
Where's that?
That's going to be downtown. That's going to be downtown at the by the water, Metropolitan Park.
Okay.
I think that gets started at 5:30, 6 o'clock. Club Nouveau. You got Tony. You got In Vogue.
That's old school.
I mean,
that's our music there.
You got Slave. You got Rick James Band, Stone City Band.
Oh, wow.
So it's going to be pretty live and some good wholesome entertainment at that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's real cool stuff. Man, right now we got an author on, a good friend of mine, as a matter of fact, brother Carlos Muhammad. He has a book called Your Daddy Wasn't S. So you're not going to be S, and it's talking about removing the harmful effects of curse words. Brother Carlos, how you doing?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
Good. Where did you get this title?
The title came about. It's been a process for the most part. But when I was teaching class at one of the community colleges I was working at, I always we would have a discussion about personal responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I basically put another spin on some of the things that we would discuss in that classroom in reference to curse words. So I always wanted to write a book about it or go a little deeper into that subject. And basically, this last summer I started probing into writing about it and came up with a book, Your Daddy Wasn't Itch, so you're not going to be SHH.
Man, that's interesting because that's really all about labeling. And the theory goes, when you label someone or you label a community, they begin to act in that certain way. So when you tell a child they ain't is just like their dad or whomever, you're actually labeling that child, and words matter. Is that what you're saying here?
Well, it goes beyond the title, even though the title is Your Daddy Wasn't, SHIT, so you're not going to be. It's really basically talking about curse words and limits. When you look at the traditional definition of curse, curse has been used or defined as expletive, as profane words that pretty much condemn or put condemnation on something. So what I did was I looked at certain words like I can't do this, or I'll try to do this, or it's impossible to do this, or certain things that we tell children, and we keep reinforcing to children that, they ultimately grow up and they start believing these things that we tell them. So it's a whole different, I really didn't want to reveal it, but the book has been out since May 25th. It's not a secret anymore, but that's pretty much what the meat of what I'm addressing. I'm addressing those harmful words that we put on children that pretty much stagnate nothing for life.
Now, when we talk about this type of thing, are we talking about family members doing this? Or are we saying, are we adding entertainment in there as well when we talk about curse words?
To be honest, society as a whole. Mm-hmm. The book, I focus on, the household, I focus on the educational school system. Primarily, if you look at society as a whole, even entertainment, you look at the fact that society is basically shaped from, what's being taught in the educational school system. What's being taught in the educational school system in turn goes into the household. So it's all cyclical. Everything is connected. And I think, when you explore that whole mentality that people are putting out there, you got to look at everything. You got to look at society, you got to, the media. You can't just look at one aspect of how things are being reinforced and negate other aspects.
Right. So, for those who don't know, Carlos Muhammad is I mentioned earlier, a friend of mine. We worked on a project called Turn Off Channel 0. And that was dealing with negative media images. The star of that particular project that turned into a documentary was Professor Griff, one of the people that actually brought all of us together. This is back in the MySpace days, fellas. Those are good old days. MySpace days. And he had, and this was also in the media thread days, or the email thread days. And he had this group called Love for Self, Carlos. Yeah. And we all would get on and we would talk about different things. And we ultimately created this project, Turn Off Channel 0. Professor Griff came in. I'm talking about, these were activists, professors, people in media, all over the place. Because Carlos was in the Baltimore area. Yeah. During that time, I was in the Pacific Northwest. We had Brother Davey D that was from Oakland. We had people from Atlanta, Chicago, all over, and DC as well. Yeah. And so Brother Carlos was one of the heads of that because he had the mechanism that pulled us all together, this group called Love for Self. Am I right, brother? Then talk about how this, because we were talking about dealing with negative media images because media images matter, and also your book is not too far from the same thing. Well,
because like you talk about, we know with media they always reinforce. Media is basically they work to control public opinion or to influence public opinion through reproduction or reproducing different shows, different things of the message they want to convey. But okay, you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, I thought I was. But so they basically reinforce. So I think that's just one of the major channels by which they can reinforce those negative messages. When you look at black people and the black community, there's been a thought on black people since we've been in this country. Mm-hmm. How they treat our images, how they treat how we portray, or how they, put the messages out there, how we portray. They use mass media as one of those things to continuously castrate our character, castrate our images, and make us look negative in the media. So I definitely can agree that, media is a major factor. This particular book, because I'm actually doing a 3-part series to the book, and I'm going to explore different aspects of the same dynamic, and the next few books will get into more of those things that you're talking about.
Now, how can people get your book? Do you have a website? Give us all your information.
Well, the book now is available on Amazon.com. It's available on BarnesandNoble.com. It's available on a channel called CreateSpace.com. I'm in the process of reorganizing and regrouping the Love Self Network, Love Self Enterprises. So those things will be eventual mediums that will also be available on. You can also contact me on Facebook, Carlos.Muhammad at Facebook. That's my like page. You can find me on Instagram, Los_cause on Instagram, or even you can follow me on Twitter. That's Love Self on Twitter. So those are different avenues, and I'm always promoting the book putting links up there so people can get access to the book and stuff.
Y'all make sure y'all support this book and this brother right here. This is an incredible brother. He's always out doing all the good work and just a great personality. Thank you, brother.
I appreciate you, brother.
All right, peace to you. All right, y'all. When we come back, we got another book, and you don't want to miss it. This is Opio Impact. And y'all make sure y'all pick up that Florida Star. This is Opio. I am sitting in with my good friend, brother, Prince Akachi. How you doing, brother?
Good evening. Good evening to you folks. How y'all doing?
Man, you guys got to pick up the Florida Star. There's a lot of really good stuff in it, including, on August 16th, they're trying to sneak one in on you. There's a flagpole that's 15 feet high. They're trying to raise it to 75 feet high so they can hoist the traitorous Confederate flag on it so that you will be able to see from Moncrief.
Oh my God.
Boy, and you talk about a nuisance on having that type of provocative symbol in that area is definitely a nuisance. So that's going to be taking place at the City Council chamber on the 16th. 4:30, so you guys have to make sure that you go out and you deal with that issue.
Yeah.
People have to be there dealing with the issue. You have the information. It's going to be in the Florida Star, as well as some really, really other good articles. So y'all make sure y'all checked it out. All right, I got the my next author is Brother Malik Ismail. He has a book called From Old Guard to Vanguard, a second generation Panther. How you doing, brother?
Oh, good, brother. How you doing?
Man, I wanted to talk to you because I can tell you some years back, one of my mentors is Choka Lumumba. And his daughter and I are real cool with each other. She came out of Howard a year or so after I did. And they had these things in Atlanta, this camp in Atlanta. They asked me to come to and be a facilitator. And these were the children of Panthers and the children of pro-black and those activist people from the 70s and 80s and so on. And so I think I was the head of the Pakas as the person that came in and was helping out. And then there was the Simbas. Then there were the Panther Cubs. And so were you ever a part of those type of programs?
No, actually, I was never a Panther Cub. What it is, I actually joined what is regarded as the second generation Panther movement, started by primarily three former Black Panthers, namely Sharif Abdullah, Brother Charles Boko Freeman, and Brother Kwaku Duran, who were in the Southern California chapter of the Black Panther Party. So we really got started in October of 1994.
Now, is this any way related to, or I guess it's not related to the New Panthers and Dr. Khaled and that movement either?
Well, we were around, I guess, they actually started a little before us, and we knew Brother Khalid, we knew Brother Aaron. We even took the trip down to Dallas to try to meet them and pretty much see what they were about, what they were talking about. But it's a totally different apparatus today.
There was a brother, one of the Panther brothers that you mentioned. I can't remember his name. He had the longer locks, kind of older brother at the time, I'm sure. I was just talking about what Brother Carlos Muhammad turned off Channel Zero. We showed that in Oakland. And he was there, and I got to meet him, and they say he was from L.A. He was an L.A. Panther, but he was up there to support what we were doing because there were a couple films. One, I think Fred Hampton Jr. was in one of them. So they were all up there, and we got to show that film. And anytime you see one of those Panthers, particularly when you've read the stories, and I did a research when I was in law school about COINTELPRO, so I got to see some of the documents that went on. I got to see some of how they pitted one group against another down there in Southern California. Just, horrific stories that they would do. Talk a little bit about that history and what happened as a result of that and how you got involved.
Well, I think you were referring to Brother Ronald Freeman.
That's him.
Yes, he actually, to be honest with you, when I first joined, at our first meeting for the Vanguard movement, he was sitting right in the meeting with us as a counsel, as a elder, to really just give us advice on, how to, pretty much reignite this new Panther movement. And personally, myself, I had just gone to Africa. I went to Ghana and Egypt actually. And I happened to meet Brother Sophie Carmichael, a former director. And he had asked me if I was part of an organization. And so I had to admit to him, no, I wasn't. And the crazy part is that he told me, well, brother, if you don't, join some organization, the thing is, any concern you have for your people will be mute. So once I got back to LA, I found out about the Vanguard movement and subsequently joined.
Okay, so what is this book about, From the Old Guard to Vanguard, a second generation Panther?
Well, it primarily is about the legacy that we continued in the 1990s from the Black Panther Party, and it pretty much went from 1966 until about 1981. And the thing is, similar to the Black Panther Party, the Vanguard movement really came into existence after the Rodney King Rebellion. Mm-hmm. If you study the history of the Black Panther Party, from Malcolm X's assassination to the 1965 Watch Riot rebellion, it seemed that out of the ashes of that, this Panther ideal came into existence. So we really were part of this legacy of pretty much revolutionary activism.
Mm-hmm. Now, if people wanted to get this book, what can they do?
Okay, well, first of all, they can pre-order because it'll be actually out October 1st, and they can email at OMAWALEX, OMAWALEX, at yahoo.com, and have it available to them starting October 1st, and it can be a great read for everyone to pretty much learn about the legacy.
All right, Brother Malik Ismail, I always see you on social media. I just admire you. I see all the wonderful, great things that you're doing. You're just such a high-quality brother, and the world is a better place because of brothers like you. Man, a couple books, another revolutionary. I got my man, Brother Prince Akachi down the sideboard. It just worked out. Sometimes you could just work these things out, brother.
You can. Everything lined up right, man. You got to be a witness.
All right, I got to get out of here. Thank you so much. This is Opio. We'll see you next time on Impact.
God bless.